The Whispering House in Sundarpur. In a quiet village called Sundarpur, nestled between lush green hills and terraced fields, life moved at a gentle pace. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, spending their days in farming and their nights under starry skies, sharing tales by the fire. But amidst the serenity stood one house that no one spoke of openly, a crumbling, abandoned mansion at the edge of the forest. It was known as the Whispering House. People said it was cursed, haunted by spirits that whispered through the walls at night. Just across the paddy field from that house lived an old man named Baba Gopal. In his 70s, with silver hair and eyes that carried the weight of sorrow, he was often seen sitting quietly on his porch, gazing toward the haunted house. Children were told not to speak to him too much. They said he once lived in that house, and that it had stolen everything from him. That very night he sneaked in with a flashlight and a camera. He grabbed his prayer beads, a sacred trident passed down through generations, and walked slowly toward the house, determined to end the nightmare once and for all. The gate screeched open, and the air grew colder with each step. Inside, the house was dark and heavy. Paintings on the wall seemed to move. The floor whispered under his feet. Then the same voice returned, "Welcome back." But there was no sign of Raju or Baba Gopal. Only a note rested near the door. "Gopal." One evening, a curious teenager named Raju approached Baba Gopal, unable to suppress the questions that had haunted him since childhood. "Some say you can still hear a faint whisper drifting through Sundarpur." Gopal. He had just married, and the house echoed with laughter, music, and dreams. When Baba entered, the house screamed. The old man began chanting mantras passed down by sages. The walls trembled, mirrors shattered, spirits, men, women, children emerged from the shadows. Among them was his wife. Then one night, as he sat alone in the attic, he heard it a whisper, cold and breathless, "She's with us now." Terrified, he fled the house and never returned. A blinding light erupted. The screams turned into silence. It was later revealed that the house had been built on land where a sacred temple once stood, a temple that was destroyed by raiders centuries ago. Let them rest. The souls buried beneath had never found peace, but the joy didn't last. Doors would creak open on their own, mirrors fogged up with strange words written across them. And then his wife began acting strangely, talking to the corners of empty rooms, humming tunes no one recognized. One night she vanished without a trace, no signs of struggle, no goodbye, only silence. "Baba," he asked softly, "did you really live in that house?" The old man didn't answer right away. He simply looked up, his eyes reflecting the fading sunlight, and after a long pause he said, "Yes, that house was once my home," until it began to whisper. What followed was a tale that chilled Raju to the bone. Decades ago, when Gopal was a young man, the house was full of life. Gopal searched every inch of the house. Days turned into weeks. Raju, inspired by the mystery and driven by his own bravery, decided to explore the house himself. Back in his hut, Baba Gopal awoke suddenly. He felt it, the house had awakened again. Inside, Raju was frozen in fear as shadows danced around him. She spoke in a whisper, "Free us, Gopal. You're the last one." With his final breath of strength, Baba plunged the trident into the center of the house. The next morning, the villagers found the house abandoned once again. Some houses are not haunted by ghosts, but by memories. From that day on, the house remained silent. But during rainy nights, when the wind howls through the village and the trees bend with the storm, AADITYA stories, where forgotten villages and haunted whispers come alive in every story. Subscribe now and dive deep into the unseen.